Right now, a couple is reeling after losing two loved ones just days apart. How they're finding the strength to keep going and what you can do to help. Also, the Wisconsin State Senate is hitting the brakes when it comes to reckless driving. A closer look at some recently passed bills and what it could mean for those getting behind the wheel. And later, no drills needed. The unique technique a local dentist is using for procedures that make dental trips for young children less stressful. You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
She couldn't be without him, and he couldn't be without her.
In a shocking turn of events, a family in Jefferson County is finding themselves grieving the loss of two of their loved ones who died just days apart. Tahlil Muhaddin spoke with members of the family this morning and shares how they're finding the strength to keep going. Tahlil?
Eric, family described the couple as a perfect match who brought joy into the lives of many, now leaving those who were lucky enough to know them shaken by their deaths.
If we want to see him again, we have to believe. Can't lose our faith.
Patricia and Randall Cartwright are trying their best.
But it's one day at a time.
To stay strong for their grandchildren, dealing with the loss of two parents.
They were like peanut butter and jelly. You gotta have one, you have the other.
Sarah and Louis Nowak had been a couple for over a decade, building a life centered on family.
And our house was never too full.
But for the Nowaks, things started to change 6 months ago when Louis was diagnosed with cancer. Through a failing drug treatment and chemotherapy, the Cartwrights say their daughter stayed positive, even as her husband's condition deteriorated.
Everybody was at the hospital when Louis died.
Louis's eulogy was written by the same person who married the couple. Hours later, that pastor would have reason to write another.
Her son came up to me, hugged me, and yelled, "This can't be happening."
Immediately following her husband's funeral in April, Sarah, too, lost her life in a car accident.
Her neighbor got in a car, and they just went for a ride, and apparently he lost control.
Both she and the driver were pronounced dead at the scene. What remains between Sarah and Louis are 6 kids, quickly becoming the Cartwrights' priority.
How I was gonna make this okay for everybody. Get them through this.
Even as they struggle to make sense of what happened.
They just had to be together. Their love was so strong.
Before she died, Sarah Nowak had planned to commemorate her late husband by planting a hickory tree to honor her wishes. Sarah's parents say they will plant that tree, another beside it, a willow tree, their daughter's favorite. If you want to support the Nowak's kids, you can donate to the family's GoFundMe.
Tahlil, thank you. Former Badger wide receiver Quintez Cephas has been suspended indefinitely by the NFL for betting on league games. The wide receiver was also released by the Detroit Lions today. He was drafted in the 5th round in 2020. In the draft, Cephas, one of 3 players the NFL suspended today for betting. He'll be suspended at least through the entire 2023 season. He played 3 years for the Badgers, but was suspended for the 2018 season after being accused and charged with 2 counts of sexual assault. He was eventually found not guilty of those charges and was allowed to return to the university. Let's check your first warn forecast now. Here's Julian Seawright.
Well, things are rather chilly out here on our weather patio, and the breeze is continuing on throughout the rest of our Friday evening. Getting into what we're going to be expecting for the rest of Friday nights going into our weekend, well, it's going to be rather cloudy from tonight going into tomorrow. So expect a bit more of that cloud cover to linger for us, but in terms of any precipitation, we might get a couple of isolated showers or a little sprinkles over the next couple of hours or so, but overall, not looking for anything substantial throughout southern Wisconsin. So that's the good news. It's going to stay rather dry, but it's also going to be rather chilly. Current temperatures are 47 degrees for us, and speaking of Dane County, areas are still into the upper 40s just south of Madison, especially near Stoughton, and 50 degrees over towards Edgerton. Now, over the last 24 hours, we've seen a dramatic shift in terms of temperatures. For us here in Madison alone, 24 or 21 degree drop in temperatures, where we had temperatures that were into the upper 60s, near 70 degrees for much of us here in southern Wisconsin. Yesterday, well, today, completely different story. It's just going to get chillier as we head into the weekend. Wind speeds are sustained into the lower teens for us here in Madison, but you can see areas from between Mineral Point, Platteville, and for Janesville into the middle teens. Now, for the gusts, that's really going to be the biggest issue for us. We're still seeing around 25 miles per hour gusts between Platteville and Madison, and around 22 42 miles per hour winds for Janesville. This weekend, we do have some rain and snow showers in our forecast and temperatures that are going to be rather chilly. So if you're heading to the farmer's market, you might want to be prepared for some sprinkles and on top of it for bringing a jacket. We'll be timing out when we can expect these showers in just a few moments. Until then, back to you.
Julian, thank you. The statewide tornado drills were today, originally supposed to go off yesterday, but were postponed due to the possibility yesterday of severe weather. The first drill was about 1:45. The second one scheduled for another 40 minutes at 6:45. People could be on the hook for a lot more money with a newly approved bipartisan bill from the Wisconsin Senate. Nicole Herzog joins us with more. Nicole?
Nearly 3,000 people are injured in reckless driving crashes every year in Wisconsin. That's why those who support the bill tell me it's a critical step to keep people safe. If signed into law, the measure would double the current penalties for reckless driving. Right now, a first reckless driving offense costs $25 to200. That would now increase from $50 to $400. The bill also increases jail time for reckless drivers who cause great bodily harm from 3.5 years to 6 years.
You have to make such a tiny split-second mistake or eyes right into the line of fire for that kind of thing to end up incredibly impacting yours or somebody else's life, or both. And that never changes. You never get that moment back.
The legislation would affect all drivers in Wisconsin, but it's specifically aimed at targeting the problem in Milwaukee. Last year, Milwaukee saw a 32% increase in reckless driving citations from 2021. And that bill will now go to Governor Evers' desk, but it's an issue he's shown he's cared about with past legislation.
Nicole, thank you. A Madison man is facing charges after Dane County Sheriff's deputies say they found a gun in the vehicle he was driving. The man was initially pulled over for a flex lane violation, but a canine unit alerted deputies, prompting a search. That's when they reportedly found that handgun in the vehicle. Officials say the man was out on bail for a firearms offense in Cook County, Illinois. He faces charges of carrying a concealed weapon and was cited for that flex lane violation. You'll be able to turn in any expired or unwanted medication tomorrow during National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. In the Madison area, you can drop off the drugs at Elver Park, Warner Park, or Mount Zion Baptist Church between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. tomorrow. Last year, Wisconsin turned in more drugs than any other state. Dane County alone collected almost 400 pounds of medication. For more information and a list of all those drop-off locations, look for this story at our website, channel3000.com. UW La Crosse will offer reduced tuition for students whose Richland campus is effectively going dark soon. In November, UW Assistant President Jay Rothman ordered UW-Platteville to stop offering degree programs at its Richland campus, citing financial pressure and low enrollment. That decision affected roughly 60 students. Platteville's transition plan for those current students who haven't finished their degrees will allow them to take up to 40 credits at Platteville or at the university's Baraboo-Sauk County campus. Newly enrolled undergraduates from Richland County with fewer than 60 credits earned will be eligible for a discounted rate, saving them more than $1,500 per semester. For most kids, a trip to the dentist is not easy, and that's even more true for children with disabilities. But now one Madison doctor says he might have a fix. Braden Ross joins us to explain. Braden?
Yeah, for a lot of kids with disabilities, even a simple filling can require being put under anesthesia. But Dr. Chris Kammer says there's another way. It's a non-invasive antibiotic treatment called SDF, or silver diamine fluoride, that a dentist paints on the teeth. Dr. Kammer says the ease of application makes it a good option for anyone who can't tolerate the usual drill and fill approach.
This medicine is perfect. It's kind, it's humane, it's simple, it's fast, it's quick. It's good for the youngest of the young and the oldest of the old. But here's the kicker. It's good for everybody in between.
The treatment is approved by the FDA and recommended by the American Dental Association, especially for children with disabilities. They say the only downside to the treatment is staining on the area of tooth decay. Coming up tonight at 10, how one family was able to use SDF to avoid anesthesia for their autistic son.
Braden, thank you. And coming up, the Midwest Horse Fair revealing last week's attendance numbers and how much money was generated for the area. Plus, a local school nationally recognized for its efforts to go green. We'll be right back with the details.
Furniture and Appliance Mart is hosting a massive appliance blowout. Dishwashers start at $11 a month. Refrigerators start at $12 a month. And washer and dryer pairs start at $18 a month. Plus 72 months special financing at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley.
Get 11% off everything at Menards. Mastercraft makes great doors inside and out, building the highest quality doors in a wide selection of styles. Get a ready-to-paint steel exterior door system for just $219.99 after rebate. Updating door handles are an easy way to show off your style. Quick-set handles and levers come in a variety of options across 6 finishes. Pick up this Juno entry combo for only $34.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
All right, team, we got a big project coming up. And it all starts with ordering promotional products.
I'm on it. 4imprint makes it easy to get the logoed products you're looking for. The latest in apparel, drinkware, bags, high-tech items, and more. You can be certain of getting it right at 4imprint.com.
Come on out. I'm on it.
4imprint, for certain.
Make a move in the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet. Like the CR-V and Accord, with available hybrid powertrains designed for more responsive performance and more advanced tech. When you drive a Honda, you're driving with the 2022 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. Get moving and find the Honda for you. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Ashley is hosting a massive inventory blowout sale. Get guaranteed lowest prices on furniture and mattresses and save even more on clearance items. Plus, low monthly payments with no money down and free delivery in 3 days or less. Only at Ashley.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
The city of Monona is looking to reimagine San Damiano, and officials want your input. Back in 2020, the city announced plans to take over that property before completing the sale of it in 2021. And today, the city released 3 concept plans for the property's future. The historic reuse plan would add about 50 parking spaces in front of the house connecting to Monona Drive while adding a nature-based play area near the middle of that property. The minimalist plan would tear down the house in favor of a one-way street cutting through the middle of the property and connecting to Monona Drive. It would feature more trails instead of paved walks and a 1.65-acre open lawn that could be used for events. And finally, the third concept would also tear down the house in favor of a new 4-season facility with restrooms and a covered shelter. There would also be a small amphitheater and a fishing pier added near the Pebble Beach. A local school is getting some national recognition for trying to make Earth a cleaner place. Forest Edge Elementary being recognized by the Department of Education as a green ribbon school for its efforts to minimize its carbon footprint. The school has geothermal wells, smart windows, green roof ledges, and more than 1,700 solar panels.
Our school has tried really hard to involve our kids in all parts of keeping our sustainable efforts. We have kids aware of our design, our geothermal site, our solar power, but we've taken it one step further and done some day-to-day things where we have a compost club. Those kids are working in the cafeteria to train little ones about composting.
Forest Edge is among 26 schools, 11 districts, and 4 post-secondary institutions that are being honored. The Midwest Horse Fair celebrating another successful event this year, drawing large crowds last weekend. More than 60,000 people attended the 3-day event, which featured over 800 horses and 500 vendors. It also featured 2 nights of the PRCA Rodeo and the World Championship Blacksmiths competition. The fair also brought in an estimated $11 million to the Madison area. Next year's Horse Fair runs from April 19th through the 21st, where the theme will be horseplay. And still ahead, a sports program helping visually impaired children enjoy America's pastime. Plus, Wisconsin is experiencing a loon fallout. What's causing it? What can you do if you come across a stranded loon? Plus, could we possibly see more rain over the weekend? Julian with your complete forecast when we come back.
The Hy-Vee Red Hot Weekend Sale this Friday through Sunday. Red seedless grapes, just $1.68 a pound. A 2-pound pack of Basket and Bushel strawberries, just $3.99. And Dole chopped salad kits, only $2.99. Only at Hy-Vee.
How can you make a difference in the world when there is so much need?
Be a mentor.
Young people need a positive role model to succeed and navigate life's challenges. Think about someone in your life who helped you get where you are today. A mentor assures young people that someone cares and makes them feel like they matter. Learn about mentorship opportunities in the 608 at unitedmadison.com/mentoring. Brought to you by Fearing's Audio Video Security and United Madison.
Transform your yard into something you can be proud of. From initial design to complete finished installation, Maple Leaf will design a yard that'll be the envy of the neighborhood. Maple Leaf Landscaping, your year-round property care specialists. Just look for the orange leaf.
A supper club. A place that serves supper. House coffee, garden salad, potatoes au gratin, bacon wrapped scallops. Old fashioned. That's superior.
If your house was cold this winter, it's going to be hot this summer. And now's the time to get your home more energy efficient. It's National Insulation Month, and we're celebrating by giving you savings of $2,000. And just in time before you get those big summer electric bills. Spring's booking quickly, so don't wait to insulate. Call now and save up to $2,000 during National Insulation Month.
USA Insulation.
When it's time to remodel your home, lean on the experts at Brothers Maine for all things appliances. As Madison and Janesville's local appliance authority since 1938, our experienced staff will make your project easy from concept to completion. Better than big box, Brothers Maine has a larger selection, lower prices, and professional advice to bring your vision to life. On time and on budget. From sales to install, we do it all. Feel great about your purchases and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
It's the Hy-Vee Red Hot Weekend Sale this Friday through Sunday. 6-pack 7-Up products, just $2.49. Brew Pub Pizza, just $4.99. And value packs of fresh Hy-Vee chicken wings are only 99 cents a pound. Only at Hy-Vee.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
The Supreme Court is blocking new restrictions set by lower courts on a widely used abortion pill. Mifepristone has been approved for use in the U.S. since 2000, and more than 5 million people have used it. Abortion opponents had filed suit in Texas back in November, asserting that the FDA's original approval of mifepristone 23 years ago and subsequent changes were flawed. Justices Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas voted to allow the restrictions to take effect. No other justices commented. Well, tomorrow is Earth Day, a time to get outside and appreciate Mother Nature. Held every April 22nd. This is the 54th year of the event. Former Wisconsin Senator Gaylord Nelson helped start Earth Day to promote ways to keep our planet livable and healthy. This year's theme is Invest in Our Planet. The idea is to consider how a green economy can help humans take better care of the world. And the Violet Zoo is postponing tomorrow's Party for the Planet event. It's now scheduled for May 20th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It'll be free and open to the public. Dane County Executive Joe Parisi said the party is a great way for Dane County residents and visitors to have fun outdoors and learn ways we can work together to protect our planet. Weather a factor in the cancellation tomorrow. Meanwhile, some of our feathered friends are having trouble with the weather. A number of loons have been falling out of the sky. The Raptor Education Group up at Anago says they've had 18 calls over the last few days. Usually they have 20 in a year. Group Director Marge Gibson says what they're seeing is called a loon fallout. She blames the recent weather of rain and ice.
With the atmospheric conditions, it really points to an icing at altitude. When they were migrating through, often they develop ice on their wings and on their bodies. They're so high, and then they basically fall when they can't fly anymore.
Gibson says loons can be hard to handle, especially with their sharp beaks. Call your local wildlife center for advice on how to help. Also, don't take them to small ponds either. They need at least a mile of open water to run across. Chilly weekend ahead for us. Here's Julian with a complete forecast.
That's right. Things are going to be especially chilly as we get into our Saturday heading into Sundays. Temperatures are going to be falling into the 40s and being sustained there throughout the next couple of days. Let's talk about the next three things we're going to need to know. Well, not only is it going to be breezy, but it will be chilly. We do have some moments where we could see some rain and some snow showers starting in from our Saturday morning for the snow and then mixing in with the rain as we get into our Saturday afternoon. So for those who are heading to the farmer's market, just be prepared. You might get a couple of sprinkles or even see some snowflakes as you head there tomorrow morning. You're going to want a jacket too because of those breezy and chilly conditions. Outside of that, let's go ahead and take a look at what else we have on tap. Well, we do have flood warning in effect until April 28th, which is going to be next week for the Mississippi River and for parts of areas just outside the Wisconsin Dells. Now, as we take a look at what we're seeing on our radar, a couple of spot-up showers, just some sprinkles are trying to enter their way into Dane County. Over the next couple of hours, might see some sprinkles, but overall, we're not looking for much in terms of rainfall for the rest of tonight. But it will be a cold one. Cloud cover in itself, it's rather cloudy around Dane County. It's going to start to break up a bit as we head into the overnight hours. Temperatures will fall into the lower 30s, but as we get into the weekend, as I mentioned, temperatures are going to be into the middle 40s from Saturday going into our Sunday, and the wind speeds are not going to be breaking up too much either. So we're going to stay rather breezy over the next couple of days. But rain and snow is going to be the issue we're going to get into coming to our Saturday morning. But the good news is it's not going to be accumulating too much. So if anything, might be a little bit of decorative, but the snow in itself is not going to be accumulating too much outside of maybe some grassy areas. Tonight is going to be quiet, so the cloud cover will break up as we head into the overnight hours. And then we're watching for a couple of snow showers starting to develop coming in from the northwest and starting to spread throughout the rest of southern Wisconsin. Around noon, lunchtime for us, we're going to see a bit of that mixing between snow and even some rainfall, and then turning all to rain once we get into our early Saturday afternoon around 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock. We're still going to be looking at a bit more widespread showers between mainly Dane and Columbia counties, moving into Rock County. And then once we get into the rest of our Saturday night, it's going to be quiet, but it will be chilly once again as temperatures are into the upper 30s. Some clouds will start to linger, but the good news is the winds themselves will start to taper off a bit before intensifying as we get into our Sunday morning, heading into our Sunday afternoon, where more cloud cover is going to be breaking up and splitting throughout much of the day. So we're not going to be seeing a whole lot of sunshine this weekend, but we will have moments of having some peaks of that sun. Outside of it, we do have trace amounts of snowfall. Again, we're not looking for much for any accumulation of snowfall from any event that's going to come in from the next about 24 hours. And then for precipitation, less than a tenth of an inch is going to be expected in terms of rainfall. So overall, not looking for too much in terms of activity, but just enough that you might have a little bit of a wet head if you're going to be outside for tomorrow afternoon. Taking a look at the next few days from our First Warn 10-day forecast. After the weekend, we will start to warm back up into the lower 50s. Have a couple opportunities for some shower chances from Monday night into Tuesday. Then it's going to be breezy again from Wednesday to Thursday. Temperatures rise to the upper 50s, near 60 degrees. Then we have some thunderstorm and even more rain potential heading into next weekend.
All right, Julian, thank you. A modified version of America's national pastime is giving kids who are visually impaired or blind a chance to play ball in Milwaukee. It's called Beep Baseball. The game uses balls and bases that beep to help the kids know where to swing and run. The players then follow the sound of the bases to score. This week, more than 50 kids came out to play at the Kern Center at the Milwaukee School of Engineering.
Oftentimes with any sort of disability, the focus is on what can't be done, and we really want to flip the page on this and talk about the things that can be done.
And the annual event between the Vision Forward Association and the MSOE baseball and softball teams has been taking place since back in 2015.
And coming up in sports, the countdown is on for the launch, while the new Badgers can't wait to experience Camp Randall with fans in attendance. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
At Pick and Save, we want our fresh produce to meet your expectations, which is why we do up to a 27-point inspection to check for things like color and scarring. Because when it comes to fresh, higher standards mean fresher produce. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
As a veteran of our country's armed services, you have already made the ultimate sacrifice. Why should you have to continue to do that? Through no fault of your own, you may be experiencing hardships, such as the inability to pay rent, utilities, or receive other life-sustaining services. And once again, you're called upon by your family to serve and protect. We want you to know we are here to support you. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin, with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. It's not easy to ask for a hand up, but we are clear in our mission. No Wisconsin veteran should ever have to face homelessness or lose heat, power, or water again. 833 WISC-VRAP. That's 833-947-8727.
All right, team, we got a big project coming up. And it all starts with ordering promotional products.
I'm on it.
4imprint makes it easy to get the logoed products you're looking for. The latest in apparel, drinkware, bags, high-tech items, and more. You can be certain of getting it right at 4imprint.com.
Come on out. I'm on it.
4imprint, for certain.
When your door is always open, so is the fridge. At Pick and Save, however you shop, in-store, pickup, or delivery, you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards. That's a win-win-win. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
News 3 Now, first warn weather. When you're planning your day, accuracy matters. Trust Madison certified most accurate team, so you'll know what to expect when you head out the door. First warn weather, keeping you ahead of the storms.
A week from today, Wisconsin will be done with spring practice, but tomorrow is the big day. The launch officially kicks off the Luke Fickell era and gives the fans a first look at the new program. But it's not only for the fans. The new Badgers and the new coaching staff will get somewhat of a feel for just how rowdy Camp Randall can be. And the new guys are looking forward to that.
This is a place that I've always, to be honest with you, hated coming. You know, just because you knew of the atmosphere was going to be electric. The atmosphere was going to be excited. The people love the Badgers. I'm excited for our guys. A lot of families are coming in. It's a long time that they haven't seen them. And just see our guys perform.
I'm excited to see how it fills up and the energy in there. You know what I mean? It's definitely going to be real surreal. But I can't wait to get out there tomorrow.
The Bucks left Milwaukee this afternoon to head down to South Beach as the series shifts to Miami. And the status for Giannis for Saturday's game, that's still up in the air. The two-time MVP did some individual work before practice, but didn't take part in any of the team stuff the Deer did today. Mike Budenholzer said they're going to monitor him today and tomorrow and see where he's at. After a long homestand, the Badger softball team hit the road to take on the Cornhuskers in a huge Big Ten series. Wisconsin's coming off 3 close losses to the top team in the conference, and head coach Yvette Healy knows this final stretch for her team is really important to show what they're made of.
What happens next, everybody's got it circled. And so, you know, when you lose heartbreaking games, it's like you can go 2 ways. You can go in the tank or you could, you know, use it to fuel you. And so we're gonna rely on our upperclassmen to see how they respond to being on the road and how hungry they are.
Wisconsin volleyball will be heading overseas this summer. The Badgers will take part in a 13-day 4-country European tour in June, where they'll make stops in Turkey, Slovenia, Italy, and Switzerland. During the trip, they'll also play 6 matches against teams from Turkey and Italy. This is UW's first foreign trip since 2019. And Chris Bono's roster got a little deeper today. Former River Valley standout Shane Legal announced he's transferring to Wisconsin. Legal spent the last 4 years at Loras, where he was a 3-time D3 All-American. Shane's older brothers Scott and Seth also wrestled at UW.
Well, let's get to Julian for a final check of the forecast.
Well, things are going to be a bit chilly this weekend, and we're watching for some rain and potential snow showers throughout much of our Saturday. So just be prepared for a little wet weather throughout the day, especially if you're heading to the farmers market. Next week, though, we're going to see those 50s and then potential thunderstorms at the end of the week.
All right, Julian, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6. We'll be back here tonight at 10.